All right, so if you haven't seen my bullying video yet, go check it out in the links below. Watch that first. I'll explain everything I'm about to mention in just a few seconds. Here we go. So for the past couple of weeks, I tended to notice a shift in my own life as well as everyone else's. And what I mean by this is, I mean that, just in general sense, there tends to be a moment in life where your perspective on things changes, such as friends, such as beliefs in many things. I think my point I'm trying to get across here is the fact that a lot of people present day tend to shift away from what they feel like is right. And there's nothing right about that, because if you have that goal in life to do what you want to do and you feel that it's right and you have many people, especially your parents, that support it, then go for it. The way I want to live my life is as simple as it sounds. Normally you hear those kids that say, oh, I want to be a famous, movie star. I want to be, a cool, an awesome, five-star quarterback athlete, whatever. For me, mine's a little bit different. I want to be somebody that's more like inspirational in the world, or somebody that's like a philosopher in that sense. I want to kind of help out those locally through videos, through inspirational tapes, all that stuff. And I know it sounds basic. I know there's a lot of you guys out there that think, what's he going to talk about? And oh my God. And, for me, this is how it went. Basically, a couple months ago when I filmed my movie Swagger Claws, I had a lot of people, and I'm not going to say who, that didn't think I would get the job done. And quite frankly, I got a little bit offended by that. And I'm not going to name names because, I want to keep it clean here. But basically, it boiled down to a lot of people were just downright hating. Were just downright jealous, whatever the reason is. They were just jealous. They were just hating on it, whatever. And for that, I actually got a lot of positive feedback on it through other supporters, and I kind of from there realized that this would be a continuous thing going on in my life. And sure enough, it did. About a month later, I think it is when I realized, great, the movie was great, but now I got to find a way to revamp my channel. So for a while, as you guys saw, I did, the Barking Up with Barrett, the most notably that you guys loved, and I can tell from the reactions, is the Swinging It with Swagster Sundays. I really appreciate that, by the way, of all your guys' support on those. And with that being said, the past couple of weeks, I know you guys probably have noticed, I haven't uploaded a lot. And I'll admit, one of those weeks I was sick, another week just crazed with school. Then this past week, I went to a retreat. And if you don't know what that is, it's just basically through your parish or just church. And I went on this retreat. And while I'm going on this retreat, I'm thinking to myself, I'm not really strong with my faith majority of the time. But at the same time, I'm thinking to myself, maybe I can strengthen it in that sense just through friends and other people that can inspire me. So when I get there, it's very nice. The weekend was great. It was actually better than I expected, because I thought it would be generic, just, hi, how's it going? Welcome, to whatever. And it actually was better, but I really appreciate all the stuff that a lot of the people said. One person was just through prayer. They're just saying it doesn't have to be that long, just it could be about 5 minutes a day, and it could change your life. And it does. I've been doing it consistently, and it honestly, it's a little bit of like a boost in the morning, if you will, kind of like a little cup of coffee. But, I'm thinking to myself, just kind of going back to earlier in the video, like, what can I do? And they kind of said that, like, what are you going to do in the future to benefit your life? And I'm thinking, I want to be kind of like a filmmaker, but at the same time, I want to inspire people through film. So that was kind of my objective. And I'm thinking, how could I really do that? So I'll admit, I'm still figuring it out, but I think I got a general basis of what I want to do. And throughout the weekend, I'm thinking, well, who's going to really support my decisions. And I'm thinking, not a lot of people are gonna, the filmmaker, that's not really a great occupation. But I actually got these letters at the end of the weekend through some close family members of mine, and a lot of them were great. In summary, one talked about how, hopefully you make it big in Hollywood type of jab, but it was actually very nice, and it made me feel special in that way. My parents were even like, we're here to support you, never give up. My grandma actually sent one, and she used to be a history teacher, actually. And what really actually made it interesting is, in a way, she compared me to a Holocaust rescuer. So when I got this letter, I'm thinking to myself, well, the other ones were good. They were really great. But what's going to stand out with this one? And what stood out is that, as I mentioned, she was a history teacher. And when she mentioned that I was like similar to a Holocaust rescuer, I'm thinking, well, this is going to be kind of boring. But it's actually nice, because she mentioned that, Holocaust rescuers were people who kind of sacrificed their lives, no matter what the situation was, they're going to be killed, or, whatever the reason was, and they do it because that's their instinct. And she compared that to me, because she was saying at like a young age, I was that, oddity, but in a positive sense, I feel like, in the sense of like you stood out from the rest, you kind of know what's right and have that gut feel. So with that being said, when I'm reading all of these, I'm thinking, that one, and the rest of them, they really had a big impact on me for the weekend. And that brings me to present day. So I'm thinking, I'm getting these letters, the past couple of months haven't been all that great, even on my home life and just in general sense. And I've heard other people now, this one girl at my school named Kiki, she's going through some tough times with cancer. There's other people that I'll mention anonymously, but, with that being said, I bring up now my past when I was in football with my football coach. And I would just have to say that Coach Rollinson really inspired me in the sense of doing what you feel is right, and then God will help you along the way. So I remember when I was in football, the one thing that I remember from my experience that my coaches taught me is, if you provide effort in life, whatever the situation may be, God will help you along the way and make that dream come true, in that sense of that goal. And with me, I think that already has happened, and maybe it's not, because mine's kind of very broad in that sense of wanting to fulfill the need of helping others in my community. So I know this video is getting long, but I'm going to leave you on that note of kind of helping one another and what I've been taught. And this is kind of some helpful advice from you. Just think about that. And if you guys feel like you just didn't get the talk, that's fine. A lot of people don't. A lot of people do. But yeah, I'm just going to leave you guys on that note. Hope you guys have a great week. And like always, signing out.